Tonight, I have with me here Millstone whiskey. This is from the Zaudam, I think that's how you pronounce it, distillery. It's a Dutch whiskey. There's a big windmill on the tube, and it says here, Peated Moscatel, distilled in 2017. So I'm guessing it's peated malt and Moscatel finish. I'm only guessing. There's a bunch of writing on here that's going to be hard to see, but I'm going to try and read it. But first, before I do that, I'm going to pour myself a dram. Oh, look at the size of that cork. What does it say on here? Is that anything different? It says the same thing, Peated Moscatel, cask type, Moscatel, grain. Heavy peated malted barley, okay. Distillation double distilled. Filtration, no chill filtration, and natural color. Those are good things. Bottled at 46% alcohol by volume. So that answered all my questions. I'm still going to read what's on the back of that tube, but first I'm going to get this open. And I'm going to pour me a dram. Okay, this is my third Millstone that I ever had. I had a Millstone rye, which was lovely. I also had a Millstone single malt, bottled at 43% alcohol by volume. And this is some wicked decanter style bottle. Now that I'm in post-production, I realize that I didn't tell you what this cost. Well, let me get to my other page here. And it says here, Millstone single malt peated Moscatel cask at 46% ABV, $74.99, plus another $15 shipping and handling. GST too. Yeah, $15, and GST would be another what's 5%? Another $3 or $4. So 80 plus another 15, about $95 in total. Okay. Now, what does it say on the back here? I got it. Millstone Dutch single malt whiskey is handcrafted in a traditional distillery that is owned and operated by the Zaudam family. More than 50 years of experience in distilling of exclusive spirits and a constant search for perfection has led to the birth of this exquisite Millstone whiskey line. Windmills, mashing, fermentation, aging, a whole bunch of... It's just hard to read. There's not enough contrast there. So I'm just not going to read it. One thing I like is that they didn't add any tasting notes. Imported by Craftwork Spirits and Beverage Ltd., Calgary, Alberta. Interesting. You might not even be able to get this in the States. And it also has here distillation date 2217, and bottling date 19/5/21. Okay, so it's 4 years old. Cask type Moscatel, bottle number 1550 out of 5784. Okay. So that's a little bit exclusive. Well, it's not 5,000 bottles. That's not that exclusive. But at least they number each one. All right. Sheeting action. And there are some secondaries that are coming down not that slowly. Oh, right away I'm getting the sweetness of the Moscatel on the nose. I'm also getting some peat, reminding me a little bit of the air that comes out of a tire that's being deflated. I also have a little something in my nose and throat, but I'm still able to smell the peatness and the or should I say the sweetness and that deflating tire air. Am I getting anything else really? It says Moscatel cask. You know, this could have been completely aged in Moscatel, and it's not just a finish. It could be completely aged in ex-Moscatel cask. That would make it quite sweet. But maybe that's balanced by the peated aspect of it. No, we'll see. Yes, it's quite sweet. It's cask forward. It's a sweet Moscatel. So much so that I barely detect the peat. That air from a deflating tire note was getting weaker. Yeah, it was getting weaker, and now it's completely gone after I've had a sip. I consider that a good thing. But this is so sweet that I'm not getting the peat at all. So maybe it's a good thing that I started with this one, because I have some other peated whiskeys coming after this one. In fact, the whole night is going to be a peated flight. Now we're starting at almost 9 o'clock. I should be done by 1 o'clock in the morning or so. Now I'm getting not much on the nose because it's so much sweetness on the palate. Overpowering sweetness. I wouldn't go quite so far as to say cloying, but it's overpowering. That's fading. Yeah. That sweetness is so overpowering. This is so cask driven that I'm probably going to have to give it some time to settle down. It reminds me of the cask forward nature of Cavalan Solists. It's very sweet. It's very sweet. I don't even get the peated. I don't get the peated at all. That's how sweet it is. Yeah. Don't know about this one. To me, at this point, at the shoulder, it's not as good. To me, it's not my thing. It's not as good to me as the other Millstone products I've had, which were outstanding. This is too much of that Moscatel for me. Now, if it had been aged in ex-bourbon, and maybe finished in Moscatel. That would be more my style. But this looks like it was aged completely in Moscatel. Wait a minute. It is changing as it goes. It was so sweet before that I didn't get the peat. But now it transitions from sweet, and then I'm getting some peat, some smokiness, some peat in there. It's still dominated by the sweetness from the Moscatel cask. But I am getting some peat. Not quite on the finish, but just as it transitions, there's a little bit of peat just squeezing itself in there, and then it reverts back to being the sweetness from the Moscatel. I'm going to have to do that again. This is not very complex. It's one or two notes. It's sweet and okay on the nose again. I'm getting the air from a deflating tire. Very sweet. The peat smoke just peaks in there, and then it reverts to sweet on the finish. Yeah, I'm going to let this thing settle down. Hopefully the sweetness will mellow out and just settle down. And maybe it will open up and give me some more flavors. This may be a candidate for one of those videos where I come back to a whiskey after a while, after it's been open, see how it does. Once again, I don't know how to say cheers in Dutch, so I will just say proost.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.